Hi guys, I'm Aura, the narrator with too many cats, and this is Squirty, who is irritated, as you can tell. She doesn't like me very much. Okay. And in case you're wondering, today I have a battle wound, because Squirt has asthma, and this is her inhaler, and it is cat-sized. It's hilarious. This is an actual inhaler for people, but this part is specialized for cats. And you can't really see it because it's so white. But, yeah. Ooh. Sometimes I forget I have a spinny chair that leans back and everything. So, today, Audrae, the immortal, I'm sorry. I have to keep getting used to the fact that they're called immortals and not goddesses, or gods and goddesses. Made that decision pretty recently as a way to distinguish between the original 8 and... Did I say distinguish? I have no idea what word I just said before distinction. I really hope it was distinction. So we made that decision earlier to separate the current immortals from the original 8, of whom there's only one left. We have too many D immortals, and we have too many immortals whose names end in A, and I get very confused about them all, but they're all pretty cool. First, brief update. There are more races in now, more immortals in, more just about everything in. And the travel times, we're working on those, so there's some progress being made, and that's good. It's slower than I'd like it to be, but I haven't exactly, I can be contributing just as much, and I'm not. So my progress is slower than I'd like it to be, but that's it. Anyway, okay. Audrae is the immortal of, let me look it up. I can't remember the exact terms I used. Okay. The immortal of deception, secrecy, shadows, and fear. She's alive, in case you were wondering. And she's one of the older immortals, I know. From basically the get-go, she decided to leave humans alone. She didn't want to touch what everybody else was doing. She wanted to do her own little thing. So she did her own little thing. And she created her own little race, the Narek, who I vlogged about last time. Is that the right word? Vlogged? Yeah. So, she vlogged. She created the Narek, stuck him in a corner, basically, and let him go for however many years, or arcs. I made the time system, and I get confused by it. But I guess that's less me being confused and more me using the wrong word for the right thing. So, she made the Narek because she wanted her own army, basically. Her own army of little shadow people. Well, by people I mean ladies. And, stuck them in Martyr's Landing, put up a big forest to surround them from the rest of the, continent? Yeah, from everybody else in the continent. They're surrounded by water on one side, so they're okay. They could still travel via water, all that fun stuff. And she didn't do much directly for them. She watched over them from a distance. She protected them. She made sure that there was nothing weird going on, kept them disease-free, made the weather mild for them. Basically took good care of them. Treated them like her babies. And in a sense they were her babies because immortals can't have kids with their other immortals, only with immortals. That's a fun fact. Or only with mortals. Immortals cannot reproduce by themselves. You need to have an immortal plus a mortal, or you can't have an immortal baby. You can't. Fun fact. Anyway, I think that's enough about reproduction. I have talked way too much about that in the last 2 vlogs. And by last 2, I mean this one and the last one. She very much demands faith from people who follow her. If they're gonna start thinking about another immortal, saying, hey, I like what you're about, she's not gonna stand for that, and well, depending on the person, she'll either do her best to win them back over, or she will kill them, which is not pleasant, being killed by the goddess of shadows. Sorry about that. I yawn a lot during the day. I get plenty of sleep, but I just yawn a lot. So, okay. So she created Veneric. She very much prefers to be an exclusive deity, yes. The exclusive member of any given person's pantheon. So, if you're going to flat out worship Audrae, then she is your main goddess. You can revere other immortals, but they can't be your primary focus of worship. She won't stand for that. If you're a Neric, she will exile you, maybe strip you of your race. Yeah, probably, actually. She'd probably strip you of your race, send you down to live as a human. She's really feeling evil, she'll turn you into a regular human and send you back to Martyr's Landing. That's a good way to get killed. She'll choke you with nothing at all. She'll suffocate you. She can literally scare you to death, and that's not fun, because she knows what your worst fear is. She is the immortal of fear. Okay. So, Audrae ties in very closely with Ocelos, the frozen island landmass thing over on the other side of Idalos, by Western and by the Isler Isles. However it is Jade wants to pronounce that, I'm not sure. I just type it out. Basically, I haven't gotten into him yet, but he is definitely going to be the subject of my next vlog. He had a relationship with Audrae. They were, well, basically like that. They were lovers, they were friends, she was his confidant, but Goddess of Secrets isn't gonna tell him much. She can keep a secret, though, which makes her a good confidant, but she can't, or she won't tell anybody else her secrets unless she absolutely needs to, and tried, really didn't have much that, Audrae really didn't have much Tried needed to know. So, they were really close. Funny, one of the oldest immortals and the absolute youngest is, yeah, Tried is the youngest immortal. They're tight. They were tight. They basically roamed the continent for a while. They roamed Idalos, when this was all one landmass, except for the Isles of... I don't know where the Isles tie into this. Not responsible for them. I will find out later. So they're strolling around the country, the continent, habit. They're strolling around the continent, looking at each other, walking with each other, talking with each other, all that fun stuff. They spend almost all their time together. And then Tried decides he wants to settle down. But the problem with wandering around the continent while everybody else is getting settled in means that there's not going to be much space for you left. So, no. Triad was not having that. He got pissed, and he froze a good portion of what is now northern Idalos, near the heart of the world, the volcano, Faldron's territory. The volcano is, I mean. And floated off, basically, to his own little corner. And when I say that, it sounds ridiculous. But basically, yeah, he floated off to his own little corner, hoping to impress Audrae. Only that didn't impress her, it kind of pissed her off, because Faldron was a close friend of hers, a close ally. They weren't as close as Triad was with Audrae, but they were tight. I don't know why I keep saying that. They were close. She preferred to spend her time with Faldron, but Tride was persistent. I mean, he was kind of like a little brother with benefits, and that sounds horrible until you remember they're immortals. So yeah, Tride is Audrae's little brother with benefits. And Faldron was more of a romantic interest for her than Tride was. She was more attracted to Faldron than she was to Tride. So yeah, she's pissed off at him. Faldron is really pissed off at him. So Faldron goes to Ocelis, his island, and Tride's settled in. He's doing his thing. He's got villages going. He's styling. He's establishing his own little society of people who worship him and love him and call him daddy, as weird as that sounds. Know him as their father. Faldron's pissed. He goes over to confront Tride, and they have an epic showdown on the very top of freaking mountain. I don't think I've named it yet. It's a mountain. Very top, or the highest point in Ocelis. And Audrae comes, and she storms up the side of the mountain to figure out what the hell's going on. And while she's storming, she gets the attention of a group of Tride's race called the Aluna. And the group of Aluna follow her up towards the mountain to see what the heck's going on. What they see when they get up there is Tride and Faldron basically having a measuring contest. They're talking crap at each other. They're basically doing their best to get the other one to get the hell off what they thought was their island. So Audrae's had enough of that. She storms up, pushes Faldron away. He rolls down the mountain, I don't know what he does. Probably falls in the water, probably gets irritated, goes back to sulk in his volcano. Yeah, that's what happened. I like that story. And she's pissed. Audrae's pissed at Tride for taking off a piece of Faldron's land, for attacking him, for sulking. And so she does the normal thing, and she rips his heart out. Yep. She rips his heart out and casts it into the ground, and it's in the ground. I mean, deep in the mountain is Tride's heart. And the group of Aluna who witnessed this, they all settled around where Audrae had cast Tride's heart into the ice, and, well, the town is named Tride Heart. Guess where that came from, everyone? Audrae left his body there, and the Aluna did their best to preserve him. So they're cities, like big icy towers that look like glass but are ice. Think of Elsa's castle from Frozen, like that kind of thing going. So yeah, the Aluna have Tride's body hostage, and his heart is deep under the deep in the mountain. And their goal is to bring Tride back to life and eventually to destroy Audrae, make her suffer the same way they've made him suffer, or that she made Tride suffer over the years. And Audrae herself, though, she doesn't want any of that. Audrae, let's get back on the original topic of this vlog. Audrae wants the world for her own, of course. So her plan is to kill Faldron, which is a little ironic. Kill Faldron, absorb his power, basically. Either absorb it or let it dissipate. because he is the god of fire and the sun, which means that he controls the light during the day. And Audrae doesn't want any light. Audrae wants total darkness all over Idalos, so that she can control every bit of it. That's her goal. There's a squirrel out there. That's her goal, is to shroud the world in darkness so that it's all hers. And the Narek are aware of her goal, and they will do damn near anything to make sure that that goal becomes a reality for their Night Mother to copy Skyrim. Actually, it's the whole Elder Scrolls series. I think she appears several times. So I think that's all I have to say on Audrae for now, and got a little bit into Tride's history there, and a little more on the Narek. Oh, hi Sierra. Cat. Yeah. So, thanks for watching, and please enjoy your time on the site.